Ladies and gentlemen, the birthday girl, our drop of golden sun, Ray.
Hey everybody. So, for those of you who didn't know, I have a disability. It's something that I refer to as directional ineptitude. What this means is that I can't get anywhere without getting lost. It takes at least 2 or 3 times the first time I go somewhere. I have to take at least 3 mandatory U-turns before I reach my destination. This, of course, first really hit me when I was in high school and I had to drive for the first time, and I realized that it was possible that I could get lost in a city that I've lived for 13 years. But if you go back way before that, there was another time when I went camping with my dad when I was 10 years old, and we went to National Park. We went during the thaw, which is an absolutely gorgeous time of the year because it's warm, but there's snow everywhere. So here's some pictures, I'll pass them around. And National Park, it's actually a mountain, and there's this beautiful lake, and during the sunset, the mountain just kind of disappears into the lake, and everything's red and orange and purples, and it's just the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen. So of course my dad, the shutterbug, had to capture this on film before we left. The thing was, he neglected to do so before the last day we were there. We were leaving the next morning, so he said, "Ray, we have to go to the lake. I have to take pictures of the sunset." And I said, "But Dad, I gotta go to the ranger talk. They're gonna have a big band. I've gotta go see a big band out in the middle of the mountains." So we talked about it, and we had been there for a week. We had biked everywhere, and so I was able to describe to him that, you know, there's our campsite. If you go down and to the right, there's a trail, and that leads to the ranger talk. But if you kept going, you'd hit the convenience store, and if you kept going, you hit the lake. So all I gotta do to get to the ranger talk is go up the road, right? Okay, super simple. So we go down to the lake, and it's starting to get dark, the sun's starting to go down. I kiss my dad, and I hop on my bike, and I start going up the road. And I'm all excited because I'm going to go get to see Big Band in the middle of the mountains. And then I look up ahead, and there's a fork in the road. And I kind of looked, and I was overcome with this sense of unease, which I now refer to as a Thomas Guide moment. But I was 10. I didn't know what a Thomas Guide was. So I started thinking, and I thought, well, is it supposed to go left? Or, no, maybe, you know, I should go right because this is the side the lake's on. But then, no, they always say multiple choice. Go with your first answer. Okay, I'm gonna go left. And if it's not left, I won't hit the trail. I'll just come back. I'll be able to get up the right side before my dad gets there. I won't get in trouble. I'll get to see the big band. It'll all be okay. So I start going, and I pedal really, really hard because I want to make sure that I have time to get back down just in case I went the wrong way. And I'm going, and then I started noticing something else, that the road that I was on and the forest floor were progressively getting farther and farther apart. And I thought, well, that's weird. I don't really remember that, I don't think. And it, just as I was starting to get to the point where I thought, you know, I really should turn around, I hear this, and I thought, it's a trumpet. It's a trumpet. Someone's practicing for the big band. I'm going the right way, huzzah. And so I keep going, and I'm like biking really hard because I just want to get there now. And I keep going, and I keep going. It's getting louder, and it's getting louder, but it's getting darker, and the floor's getting farther away, and I'm starting to get scared, and it's getting dark, and it's dusk. And I keep going, and then I finally get to the sound, and I look down the hill, because it's a hill now, and way down at the bottom, he's about this big, was a man sitting on a stump playing the trumpet by himself in the middle of the forest. So I started crying, and he came up the hill, and I said, my dad's gonna be mad, I don't know what to do. And so he waved down a minivan, and there was a family inside of it, and they said, "Oh, honey, get in the van, we'll take you down to the ranger talk." I said, "No, I don't get cars with strangers." And they said, "Okay, we'll leave you here with a strange man in the middle of the road out in the middle of nowhere." So they left, and I waited there with, you know, tears coming down, and I got to hear about my dad's story once the steam subsided. And from his side of the story is he got to the ranger talk, and of course he didn't see my bike sitting there. So he starts scanning the crowd, and he's scanning the crowd, and he gets to the stage, and he noticed that the ranger had stopped talking, and he was looking directly at my dad. He said, "Mr. Edgett, your daughter is 2 miles up the other road. There's a family here that will take you." Of course, I didn't get to see the big band that night, but I got a pretty cool story.